Welcome everybody to Olivia Connects. My name is Olivia Gudaniec, and today we're here with David Neeson, who is a pilot with the best views around. How lucky are you?
Incredibly lucky, Olivia. Hey, my name is David Neeson. I'm a pilot. I've been flying commercially for 6 years, and I fly for flyGTA Airlines.
And if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe. If you guys are interested in the life of a pilot or traveling, hit that thumbs up so I know to keep creating more content like this. Let's get right into it, David. So what does it take for somebody to become a pilot? What are the qualifications? What training did you do? What do you wish you've done maybe differently this time around if you could do it again?
I wouldn't do anything differently, no. There are many different ways to become a pilot, so you don't have to go through the way I did. You can go to either the military. The military is probably the best training there is to be a pilot.
Yes,
plus,
I read about that, yeah.
Plus they pay for your training.
Yeah.
Training to be a pilot is expensive. It's not for everyone. You have to be able to afford the training, and then you have to be able to survive on a small salary at the beginning. Other avenues include going to flight schools. You can go to, in Toronto area, for example, you have Seneca College, you have University of Waterloo, you have University of Western Ontario. They have aviation pilot programs where you get a degree and you get your licenses at the same time, which is a really good
cool.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What about, do you have to have 20/20 vision?
So
is that
20/20 vision,
a myth?
only the military will require 20/20 vision, and that's because you're pulling these high G maneuvers where your contacts could fall out, your glasses could fall off,
yeah.
And you must have good vision, when you're conducting military flights. In the civilian world, so whether you're flying for Air Canada or an awesome little company that we fly for, flyGTA, you do not need 20/20 vision. You have to have corrected to 20/20 vision. So you have to have glasses that allow you to see as if you have 20/20. But glasses are fine.
Okay. Awesome. What about retirement? Do you have to retire at a certain point? Are there any rules for that?
Yeah, there are rules for retirement for pilots, but only if you're an airline pilot for Air Canada or WestJet.
Okay.
They do have mandatory retirement ages. As long as you have a valid medical till the day you pass away, you can fly. You can fly contract, you can fly corporate aircraft, you can fly for yourself. You can just have your own plane and fly around for fun, yeah.
How often do you have to redo all the training and
So when you get the license,
yeah.
the license lasts forever.
Wonderful. And what exactly does a pilot do? Because I've heard myths about pilots, co-pilots, that they really just take off and land and then a computer does it, so I'm not actually sure. And what are the pre-flight duties? I want to hear it all.
You're actually absolutely right. A pilot for Air Canada, that's what they do. They are button pushers and coffee drinkers. That's really what they do. All their pre-flight information is provided to them by dispatch. When they fly, the flight plan is programmed into the airplane's computer. Takeoff is pretty much all they do is just rotate. They just pull up on the yoke, turn on autopilot, and the plane can land on its own.
Oh, wow.
In fact, the smoother the landing, or the landing in the really low visibility scenarios, that's a computer landing. That's auto land. And it does increase safety phenomenally, but at the same time, it reduces a pilot's proficiency because they're not hand flying as much. Pre-flight duties would include checking NOTAMs, which is checking conditions on the ground at the airports that we're flying into and out of, checking the weather, doing your flight plan, checking the speeds and the winds. Weather is a huge component. It's a huge, you have to make sure that the weather's okay to conduct the flight safely. Weight and balance. So all these things our pilots are doing before the flight. In the airline world, that's done by dispatchers.
Okay. Okay. And is there a decrease in pilot these days, or are you guys on the rise?
No, that is a huge dilemma for the industry. It's not just pilots, it's mechanics, it's air traffic controllers. There is a shortage. Today is a great day for you to get into flying, maintaining aircraft, or controlling aircraft as an ATC. So when you have all these pilots retiring, and then a huge demand for pilots, it creates that shortage. At the same time, training costs are skyrocketing. It's very expensive to train to be a pilot today.
Yeah, well, it's good you started when you did that. Let's talk about safety. Obviously, that is your number one concern when you're up there.
Yeah, safety is a core value of our company. You have to be able to deal with abnormalities in flight.
Have you ever had a scare? Or a close call, or where you were like, oh boy?
You know, you have things go wrong, but there's redundant systems built in. There's procedures to deal with them. Have I gotten scared? No, you just have to go back to your training, and you have to understand that this isn't, it could become a big issue, but let's do certain things to prevent it from becoming that big issue.
And planes are checked every time before going in the air.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Airplanes, you can hear of airplanes that are like decades old. And the reason is because the maintenance is so meticulous. They're inspected at constant intervals. The critical components are changed based on number of hours of use. And they're made of aluminum. They don't rust like cars do. They do corrode, but you inspect that and you take away the corrosion as needed. But yeah, airplanes are built like tanks. They'll deal with it, don't worry.
Right. So it's just your heart, so you need to calm down, or like
humans can't take it. Plane can take it.
Exactly. And what about all those people that think plane tickets are just so expensive? Can we just break it down so people know what they're paying for, essentially?
So flights in Canada are generally more expensive than you get in Europe or America, in the States. A number of reasons. A, our taxes and fees are much higher in Canada than in the other places. And B, there's more competition in those places. In Europe, for example, a British airline can fly between European countries. There's more American airlines operating in the States. In Canada, there are fewer, and therefore there's less supply, and therefore the prices are going to be higher. On the other side of things, you have higher taxes and fees. Ticket breakdown, so if you're on a scheduled flight, for example, you'll see the base fare, and then you'll see taxes and you'll see fees. Taxes are things like HST, if there is. Fees would include a security fee, so each time we walk through a security checkpoint, someone has to pay for that.
Okay.
You're in fact paying for it out of your ticket. The airport, to use the airport, for the airline to use the airport charges the airline a fee per passenger. It could be AIF, Airport Improvement Fee. The airline is passing that on to you, and you're seeing that in your taxes and fees breakdown. The fare is what the airline makes. The taxes and fees are what the airline is paying to the operator, the airport operator, to the security system, or to the government.
And that includes like landing fees and...
Yes, landing fees are paid per landing of the aircraft, and those go to the airport. And then the airport also charges per passenger. Because you're using the terminal and all its amenities, that's got to be paid for, and you're paying that out of your fees as well.
Do you think the prices are fair for what everyone's paying out there? There's no right or wrong answer.
So Pearson, for example, is one of the most expensive airports in the world. I think it's the second most after Tokyo. Do I think it's fair? No. Would I like to see lower prices? Of course. If I see lower prices, then there's more demand and people are flying more.
And before I let you go,
sure.
If there was another job you could be doing, what would it be and why?
I would have loved to be a doctor as well. I think that would be cool. An astronaut. Oh, that's okay. You know what? If I had anything, astronaut.
Okay.
Go to the Air Force, become an amazing Air Force pilot, become an astronaut. That would be wicked.
Yeah, and you'd still be up there, right?
I'd still be up there. I'd be maybe going to Mars one day. No, being an astronaut would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, that's the end of our segment, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you heard helicopters and airplanes, well, that's just how it goes over here. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.